Hello and welcome to How We Live Online. I'm Christina.
I'm Joanna.
And I can't even talk. Boy, do we have a story to tell. First of all, I want to start by saying follow us my window's open, so you'll get some bird sounds maybe. Can you hear the birds, Joanna?
Yeah, I just did. It was so nice.
Okay, then I'll leave it in. The Instagram that you should be following is at How We Live Online. That's what you guys should do if you are not, in fact, doing that. And thanks for continuing to listen. This week was very crazy as I am finishing my degree and had to do a reading. And I was nervous about the reading. And then something terrible happened. So this is the story of that, essentially.
I'm looking forward to it, even though I was there for a lot of it, but not all of it. We can each tell our different perspective.
Yeah, true. Okay, who should go first then?
I think you should go first because you would know more of the beginning.
Oh, right. Okay. Basically, I get up on Friday. I'm starting from the very beginning. And I'm like, damn, I really don't. Oh, I just got a screen time notification. Oh, it just told me that I was up by many percentage points. I hate data. Okay, so just categorically, I hate data. Basically, I wake up and I really did not want to teach, but I was like, I guess I will go do that because I have to. And so I get my ass to campus and I'm ready to teach about plot structure because we're in the film unit and we are a little more than halfway through a 50-minute class. At 10:30, the alarm goes off. The fire alarm goes off. And everyone's like, what? And it's not a scheduled thing. And we only had 20 minutes left of class. So I was like, great, let's just all go home. So we all go home. I find out later that people were outside for less than 10 minutes. So technically we could have returned back to my class and had like 12 more minutes of class. But no, don't care enough about that. Anyway, so I'm walking to my car. I see a very adorable puppy and I'm like, so cute. Can I pet your puppy? And then the puppy is all squeamish and doesn't let me pet her. And I'm like, damn, that's sad. But this puppy was really cute. So I'm on my merry way. And then I see this bike that has a contraption on top of it to make it an extremely tall bike. Like for someone like this, the height of like a unicycle, but just a regular two-wheel bicycle. And I'm like, that's
Not
just
like the huge bike though, that the person bikes in the fan.
I
You
don't
ever
know.
you've
Oh,
never
the
seen that
extra,
bike?
like,
Yeah.
no. It was just really tall, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like circus
Mhm.
level tall. Of course, there's someone who does that. Anyway, so I'm like, so silly and kooky and fun. Just saw a puppy, just saw that. Today's going to be great. I take a picture of it and I post on my story, like, good omens, yay, because I have to do this reading tonight and I've been nervous, but I felt like I was like, okay, I'm interpreting the signs. I saw a puppy. I saw this funny thing. My reading was supposed to be funny. And so I was like, okay, like if I saw this thing that was funny, that's a good sign, whatever. I go and I print out my reading because it's half in script and I have some people to read with me. So I went and delivered those. I generally got my apartment ready because my boyfriend, my family, Joanna, Alexis, they were all coming over. And they get there, all the people. Well, a lot of time has passed in this time period. But basically, my family gets here. I have to be at the reading by 5 p.m. because I need to help set up the audio because there's been issues with it. And then our Thai food wasn't ready until like 4:40. Joanna wasn't getting here until like 5:15. And I was like, whatever, it's all up in the air, whatever. Me and Maddie go get the Thai food. I'm so happy. My parents have purchased me like $100 worth of Thai food. I'm like, thank God. I have no food in my house. So we bring it back, and then I'm hit with a feeling unlike any other feeling. And I'm like, where is the cat? Because for the past few hours, I figured she was hiding. I didn't care too much about it. And she's been fiending to go out the back door. However, I was so anxious. I was like, I'm not going to like funnel my anxiety into freaking out about the cat constantly. Like, I'm sure it's fine, you know? But then when I get back, I'm like, no, something is wrong. I like click on her feeder thing. So she'll come. She always comes for that. She didn't come. And I was like, maybe she's just hiding and scared because so many people are here. I crack open a wet food thing. She doesn't come. I look everywhere. And also I had moved some furniture to be in the living room so that more people could sit. And so her hiding spots were different. I looked everywhere. She goes into cabinets sometimes. She goes into this really high shelf. She wasn't anywhere, not under my bed, not in any closets. This bitch is gone. And people had been going in and out the back door, but not like maybe 3 times, you know, but it's a soft closed door. So I think she was hiding and then scurried out like behind someone and no one noticed. And so she's never gotten out for that long before. Started freaking out. Of course, my mom starts also freaking out. She's like, we can't find her in the apartment. We all go outside to look. It's 90 degrees in Richmond. 5 people, plus once Joanna and Alexis get here, 7 people, plus my neighbors, who we probably spread the information to 50 people at least. Everyone in the neighborhood by the time we were like accepting the fate that she was gone had already heard from somebody. Oh, yep, I heard about the cat.
Yeah, everybody on a porch, like on like 1 block off your block. So like a 9 square blocks. Everybody on their porch was like, we are looking for the cat. Yeah. Let me take over from a little bit of my point of
This
view.
is a good time.
I would like to say one observation that I had, and from when you're telling the story, I think it's really good that it was nobody's fault. The blame was spread across everybody because it just happened. She slipped out. Because when I heard, so in addition to the bad omens that Christina had, I also had a really strange omen when I was driving to Richmond, which was a car reversed at me on the highway. It was so bizarre. We were like
terrifying.
We were like just passing, and there was like a few cars ahead of me. So I was just passing an exit that I wasn't taking. And then all of a sudden the cars ahead of me slow down. I'm like, are we hitting traffic right here? That's weird. But no, the cars were slowing down because there was a car like, 4 cars ahead of me who was reversing because they had missed the exit that they wanted to take. So they thought the best course of action was to reverse on the highway.
The worst, scariest idea in the world. Who the fuck was driving?
I have no idea. Like, I mean, it worked out for them. Hopefully it doesn't embolden them.
Wait, did they reverse and they get to the right
Yeah,
side?
it worked. Like, they got there. Because people stopped for them. Like, we were slowing down. I was like, why are we slowing down?
Well, they had to fully, like, they were going, what, like 60? They had to stop and then reverse.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It was really just not... If anyone is listening who's learning to drive, don't do that. It's not right. But yeah, so I had that bad omen too. And I knew, so I was driving and I got the text, Thai food, what's your order? So excited. Put in my order. And then as I was arriving in Richmond, I read the text that I had and I saw that Afro had gotten out. And that had been like an hour ago that you realized she was out when I saw. And yeah, my immediate first reactions were, oh my gosh, like in the chaos of the family being at the house, she got out. And I was like, I think those 2 things together, because you were already stressed because of the reading and already stressed because there were a lot of people coming. And then I was like, oh my God, the cat is also out and it's somebody's fault. So it's kind of what I thought at first, that like oh no, somebody is feeling terrible. But I didn't want to ask who it was. And it was nobody's fault. The blame was distributed evenly. But I will agree where Christina left off that her mom was freaking out when Alexis and I pulled up. All we saw Cassie outside just looking like her stress stone face, like just like absolutely like the listener can't hear what I'm doing or can't see me. But yes, that's the scene we walked into.
Because my mom had just gotten back from 2 weeks at her mom's house, whose house had fucking flooded in September. My mom was there for 2 weeks trying to get it all together, came back this week, and then in 2 weeks, she and I are going to move her back in, my grandma back in. So my mom has been like truly like in the depths of fucking chaos. And then she gets home, she immediately has to like go on a drive on the worst part of 95, which like my mom has major car anxiety. And then she gets here and this happens. And she was just like, she was so upset. And I like couldn't even deal with it. I was like, yeah, okay. You're upset. I'm upset. We're all upset. And she wasn't making it about her. But every time I like passed her, I was like, I know that she is like dying. So basically I figure out that the cat has gone out basically at the same exact fucking time I need to be leaving. And then I was like, you know what? People are just going to have to figure out this audio situation, and I'm going to have to try to find this fucking cat. 2 hours of looking, my coworker comes after her shift to help. She's in the bushes. I like look over, her head is in the bushes. And yeah, we can't find this fucking cat. We told every single person in the entire world, including the people who share my porch. And Maddie was the person who told them that. And the girls who lived there thought that Maddie was me. And Maddie can't really like, sometimes she just gets really nervous in social situations. So what happened was these girls were like, oh my God, do you live in apartment 24? And she was like, yeah. Because she was like, we are talking about the cat in apartment 24. And the girls were like, oh my God, like I saw someone touring the apartment or just like came up on the porch, and it was my ex-best friend and her boyfriend. And they like want to rent this out. Like you can't let them rent it out or something. And Maddie was like, oh yeah, sure. What? Yeah, no, I don't know about that or something. And they were like, you can't, like, I can't deal with that. Like, oh my God, this is so crazy. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I knew that cat was missing. Like, we knew the cat was missing, which we had, maybe at that point we had put up signs, or maybe they had a glimpse of her or something. I don't know. But they have a cat who Joanna and I have named Cosmo, because we never met the cat, but my cat and that cat will look at each other across the porch and see each other. And I learned his name. It is Tony, which is very cute.
Should be Cosmo, I still think.
I think, yeah. And I was overhearing the conversation and I was like, I actually can't interject and I don't care. But I do want to know the drama. Like, I do want to be like, hey, like you were talking to the wrong person. Like, tell me about this.
Well, just take over. Just like be like, yeah, that was me. Like,
yeah. Well, because then I walk up to them and I'm like, thank you so much for looking for her. Like, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of looked at me confused and I was like, whatever. So, because I didn't really realize that Maddie was pretending to be me. And I also wanted to be like, his name is Tony. I call him Cosmo. And then I was like, I need to focus. That was drama. At this point, it's like a little bit past 6. And the reading starts at 7. And I'm like, okay, I need to just get ready and go. I didn't get to do my hair or my makeup the way that I wanted to. I just put on mascara and I was like, I'm going to go. And I put on my dress. And then when I got there,
you got a great parking spot.
I got a great spot because the loading zone, they own that loading zone. And I knew that I wouldn't get towed. So I parked right there. I went in. I was so upset because the cat had not been found. My mom was like, before I left, she was like, okay, we put the litter box outside because that's supposed to like attract them back home because they can smell their own situation. And we put food out. And then my neighbor who lives below me, David, who has 2 cats, who I've seen him hanging out with his cats a lot. he had put out a camera to see if the cat came back. We put signs up. We told every single person in the entire world. Also, I felt like it was on our side. Like, it was good that she's so pretty and nice.
Yeah,
because people would know that she was not supposed to be outside.
I knew she was going to get found or come back.
I was pretty sure, but I was also like, if she doesn't, this is terrible.
I feel like I was confident because she has spent enough time on the porch to like know the smells of the area.
That's
and
true.
all her stuff was out there. And Alexis and I were like, realistically, why would she have wandered very far? Like, I think everyone knew that she wasn't really far. And the only reason she would have wandered far was to go to the reading.
Because one neighbor said that one people, like a couple walking their dog, said that they saw her, but like probably around 4:30 when she just got out. And she was like eating grass in the bushes, obviously, because that's all she does. So anyway, all her stuff is out. My mom's like, well, someone needs to stay here and wait for her. And I was like, that's a great idea. I agree. However, don't make me pick someone to miss my reading. I'm like, I cannot make that decision. And she was like, okay. So she and Isaiah decided that he was going to stay. And so he was just going to hang out on the porch and wait for her to come back. I'm at the reading. I'm telling everyone. Honestly, it was like when I had a UTI last weekend and I just told everybody I had a UTI. People were like, how are you? I'm like, I have a UTI. What else is happening? Nothing.
When you have a song stuck in your head and they say that if you sing it out, it stops being stuck in your head. I think you evoke the same principle.
Yeah, I just had to tell because people are like, you look great. Like, how are you? I'm so excited for your reading. I'm like, to be honest, I was nervous about this. And then my cat got out and now I don't want to be here. And everyone was like, oh no. So then people wanted to hug me. I'm like, okay. I talked to the faculty. People were being nice to me, but I think everyone could tell I was just like upset.
Yeah, I was really nervous I was going to have to hug you. Just kidding. I knew I wouldn't.
I was not. So we're there. I'm waiting for everything to start. I'm waiting for family to get there. And then Celia, my friend who was introducing me for the evening, and her boyfriend Ian came, and I told them what happened. They were like, oh no. And Ian was like, well, I'll go like take Isaiah's post. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Why don't you go? And
It was a great idea.
That takes like half an hour to facilitate. And Isaiah missed the reading that was happening before me. And then he came in maybe halfway through anyway. And then my coworkers who were closing the store came like right when my thing started. It was really nice. It was at the event space for this brewery. There were barrels everywhere, really nice table, chair situation, projector, cash bar, wine, other things, empanadas that were good. Once I finally had one later, I was fully running on adrenaline because I had barely eaten all day and I was stressed. And then someone gave me a beer that I drank during Rebecca's reading. Then Celia introduced me and it was so nice. One of the nicest things I've ever heard anyone say about me.
We should have her read it on the podcast one day.
Honestly, she should. At that point, I think, honestly, the beer was really helping me because it really calmed me down because I just love beer. I love the bubbles. I like that it makes me calm. I could tell my mom next to me was still freaking out. So Celia was introducing me and saying all these really nice things about me, like how I'm smart and funny. And my sister was crying a little bit, I heard, but I wasn't looking at her. So, and then I do my reading. I was in such a fuck it mood that I think it was to my benefit, which is what one of the other MFA people said. She was like, maybe your cat knew that you were really nervous and she just wanted to distract you. And I was like, I'm sure that's it.
Could she, wait. Can we just reverse on that for a second? Could that have triggered Afro? All of the anxiety in the house, made her more anxious?
Absolutely.
Wow.
But she didn't have to run away. I think what happened, because there's that little crevice between the fridge and the door. Yeah. And I usually have the vacuum there. It wasn't there. I think she was hiding there and then planned so that she was just slipping out. And she's so quiet, even with that bell on her.
Crazy girl.
I know. I mean, it could have been behind me. I don't know who.
When it's a group, you should just, I mean, obviously
It's the
you'll be
group.
there soon, but
Yeah.
you should be like front door. Like, we're not using this soft close.
Yeah. But my reading went well.
It did go really well. The intro, so sweet. Amazing job, Celia. And then, yeah. So the first thing Christina did when she got up there was, as she's mentioned, announce to the whole room that her cat was missing, just in case anyone didn't know yet. But there was an important update, which was that she had been spotted. Ian saw her. A few of us were like, if Ian saw her, why didn't he just catch her? But no,
which we'll get to.
Yeah. He's doing a great job. And I think you you did a good job of seeming more relaxed. As you said, like maybe it was the beer, maybe it was, I don't know, you were just letting it go to the wind. But like, I think since Ian spotted her, like people were more confident that like she was going to come back, because she had come back, and it was just going to need to be an opportune scenario to catch her up. But yeah, so as Christina said, I'll just give you a brief vignette of the reading of her novel project. It was amazing. It was a smash. As Christina said, there were two people reading the part that was in script form with Christina, and they were perfectly cast. I'm not going to give too much away about the plot or the characters, because, I think when it's time, everybody should go find out for themselves.
When it's published in 3 years,
right?
At least,
right?
It's the expedited timeline.
But yeah, they were perfectly cast, and there were so many laughs. The whole room was a buzz, and people stated that it was the most fun they had ever had at a reading. That was stated by people. They said it was the most fun they had ever had at a reading, the most fun they had ever had.
Well, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, because readings sometimes get a little hard because you just sit there and you listen. And I feel like I like reading along with things.
Yeah. I liked Rebecca's stuff a lot too. And I thought in a weird way they like the two paired well together.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a great event.
Once I was reading, I was like, I think I'm just going to have to forget about this is happening. And I was confident that she would return because she had been now spotted in the same area twice. And I was like, okay, I don't know if this bitch ever even like left the alley, like left the square block. Yeah. I read. The people laugh at my jokes. I'm getting texts that the Zoom audio is terrible. I'm like, yikes, you guys missed it. Sometimes, I think that some events just shouldn't be Zoomable. I think you just miss them, and that's okay and should be fine. I will try to fix it for next week and for the other people, and I will take pictures of everyone, and I will make me and Rebecca stand in front of the podium and pretend that we read and take a better picture. But yeah, I was very proud of it as people were laughing. When I looked up, this person in one of my classes their mouth was agape, like directly in front of me, just like, oh my God. And I was like, that's really funny. I'm glad that people are enthralled. Then I was done. I introduced my thesis people to my parents. Everyone said, hey, Isaiah's working the room as he usually does. He bought my coworker's boyfriend a beer. I don't know. He was like, I'm sad that when he was gonna miss it, he was like, I'm sad I was gonna miss it because I was gonna go and buy everyone drinks. His favorite move. I don't know. So he was still able to do it. He was really chatting it up with my thesis director, who is 1/3 of his size. So that was a dynamic at play happening. People gave me many flowers. I got cards, and I was like, yes. And then I had another beer, and I was like, wait a minute. Now I'm kind of tipsy, and I really am feeling like I don't care about this, but I need to care about. I was like, if I were sober, I would be gone. I would need to go. I would need to go. But I'm still like, but I'm having so much fun. So then we walked to this bar. The bar was terrible. And then I was like, you know what? I need to go home and relieve Ian of this post because she will come to me. And also I was like, if you saw the cat, how did you not catch the cat? This is how you don't catch a cat. Basically, we all get back. Me, Joanna, a bunch of people from my program, Isaiah. Ian's hanging out. He's like, yeah, I saw her. She came and tried to get food. And I slowly walked down trying to get her. She saw me and she bolted to the back where the cars are. And I was like, ah! So then I made everybody go around the block, like flank the block from different corners and go into the alley trying to find her. Of course, no one found her because she was a sneaky bitch. And then I was like, okay, I think that we just can't have this many people here because she's not going to return if there's too much of a crowd. So me and Isaiah stayed. We thanked Ian. Ian like left some champagne in my fridge, which was really nice. And then Isaiah and I were just like drinking beers, sitting on the porch. He like went around. I went around with her comb and like made this sound because she really likes it. And I was like,
crazy.
Come out. And then he went around and like shook her food and stuff. And then we were just sitting on the porch being like, fuck.
As you're saying that part, like this needs to be a short film.
I know. I mean, like this is the equivalent of my graduation. Like this is like the like event that is culminating this program that I've had very mixed feelings about this entire time. And I've been dying to get it over with, honestly. And then I'm like, okay, it'll be fun. Like, let's make it a celebration because it is supposed to be a celebration, even though I'm stressed about reading, even though I feel like I have all these mixed feelings about the program. And then the fucking cat, the thing, honestly, worst case scenario is the cat gets out, right? Anyway, so me and Isaiah are talking about that. We're like, I cannot fucking believe that this happened, that this is still happening, and she hasn't come back. And then my neighbor,
literally so nice,
such a nice guy. The entire time we're gone, he had been, honestly, this could be a movie because there's this B plot of this guy who's
that's what I'm saying. There's so much visual interest. There's a lot of like plot development. Like there's
so much tension. It's like, who let the cat out?
Right.
How could this possibly happen? This is the most, like, I love this cat. She helped me through this program.
Yes.
Like, she got out. Meanwhile, while I'm at the thing, my next door, underneath me neighbor had put out a pet cam. His two cats are always staring out the window. And he was, like, playing Call of Duty or something on his computer, like, all night. And his apartment's on the ground level, so he can, like, really see out. Across from him is this giant garage full of stuff. And it's all stuff from the people, I don't know, the people who own it had like gotten all their windows redone. And it's just like old shit, including a guitar. And I found out that everything in there is free, but it's all trash, except for a guitar. So I might go get it if I feel like I want a guitar. Anyway, so me and Isaiah are sitting there, and then we see David like walk into the alley with this huge thing of like Friskies treats. And he's like, hey, like, you guys are the ones with the cat, right? And we're like, yes. And he's like, she's right over there. I just saw her sitting like right outside that garage. And every single person in our search party had gone through that garage like multiple times, I'm pretty sure, throughout the fucking 7 or 8 hours she had been gone. We are looking in there. We can't see her, but I start shuffling something around, and then I hear like and I was like, this bitch is in here somewhere. Can't find her. There's like 6 giant, very heavy glass windows leaning up against the wall with probably like 6 inches between the wall and the thing. I've pulled some of them back, but they're very, very heavy. David pulled a different part back, and he saw her like wedged in between the thing. Isaiah was trying to get her out from the front, and my like hand slips because I was trying to hold these heavy things, and they all like slam back against the brick wall. She's like, and she bolts out of the garage. And we're like, yes, like, we're gonna get this bitch. Also, I was cursing so much this whole time. Like, I sounded like a crazy person. So I hope that my neighbor David does not touch me. Anyway, so she goes underneath my porch. I'm like, perfect. I'm gonna get her right now. I have almost my hands on her. And then she bolts again to the front of my building, all around to the front. Isaiah's extremely fast. So he's like basically on her the whole time. She's between him and the front door of my building. I'm approaching, and I'm like, I don't know. Isaiah later was like, well, you should have cut her off this way. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. I don't have like years of experience trying to tackle things.
Yes. Let's clarify. Isaiah is a Division I college safety formerly. Which is the position of tracking people.
Yes.
And tackling them.
Yes. Of catching things.
Yes.
Of being the last line of defense to catch things. So, yeah, obviously I'm not coming at it with the same strategic mindset or physical power that he has. Okay. I'm just trying to get my fucking cat. Then she's like, look at the both of us. She bolts underneath the car and then she crosses the street. And we're like, oh my God, chasing after her. I have never seen, also, she's fat right now. I've been feeding her very well, maybe too much. I've never seen her run like this. And what was making me so angry is that I knew that she was having like the time of her fucking life while we're chasing her down the alley. She is leaping, like her whole body is moving like a horse, like just dun, 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 all the way down so fast. Isaiah's right behind her. And I was like, honestly, in that moment, I was like, Isaiah is going to get her. He's so fast. Like, we have eyes on her. We will get the cat.
Yeah.
She goes underneath like a Volkswagen Passat or something. Like, she goes underneath a car that is a sedan, but it's a nice car. So I'm like, I guess we can't fuck up this car trying to get the cat out. She goes underneath the car. Me and David are like, we're coming. We're right there. And then she had gone in the wheel well above the wheel and underneath the car. And she's chunky right now. So I'm trying to get her out, but she has bared down like her nails into the wheel. And I was like trying to get her out. I couldn't like ungrip her. And then her head wouldn't come out from there. And so I'm like trying to readjust. And then she hops down and she like goes right against the wheel. Her body's underneath the car still, but she's like hiding like right underneath the wheel. So I'd have to like crawl underneath. I'm on like my hands and knees in like gravel, and which is very painful, trying to fish her out. Isaiah got some random piece of trash that was like a giant board the length of the car somehow, and he leans it against the car. And then she ends up hopping back up to the wheel well. David is now holding her and he's like, okay, I'm gonna try to like, he's just like a cat man. He just knows about cats. So he's like putting his hands underneath her paws, trying to like pry them off. And so then like I got her from the other side, and then Isaiah ran to go get her food and ran back. And like in the time he was gone, I was like, okay, like maybe if I just like lift up the car a little bit, you could get her out. So I'm like trying to lift like the car off of the wheel a little bit. Obviously, I'm not strong enough to do that. Nothing happens. Isaiah gets back. I'm like, Isaiah, you have to lift the car. So then when he does it, he's doing it like someone who is lifting weights, obviously, from his legs and such. And he probably lifts the car above the wheel, like expanding the wheel well, maybe 3 inches. Like very much a lot. Enough to get the cat out. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. I just like, it was unbelievable, the entire thing. We get her out. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, David. Thank you, Isaiah. Da, 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 da. I have her in my arms and I'm like, okay, we need to go in through the front because she's going to try to get off of me. We go in through the front door.
Yep.
Yeah. Because if I tried to go through the back, she would have flipped out again. As soon as we get inside the building, she like climbs up my body and then like jumps off and runs up the stairs and is like dicking around the hallway. I have to get her again. We bring her inside. My apartment's a mess. We're like, David, do you want a beer? He's like, yeah, sure. He takes the beer. He leaves. I'm like, all right, see you later. And I need to get him a present or something. We're like hysterically laughing. Like, I can't believe what just happened. Like, this was 8+ hours of freaking out about the cat, not knowing where she was, emotional turmoil. Of course, Isaiah was like, this cat had me running all around the neighborhood. I had to lift a fucking car. Like, what the fuck is this? And she's covered in like grease, like car grease. Not covered, but she has enough that it's gross. I try to like wipe her down, but she was being very skittish and upset. We gave her food, brought all of her shit back in, and texted everyone that we found her. And
we cheered in the bar. The cheer erupted in the bar.
Did you announce it?
No, I just cheered. I think Alexis did.
Okay. Because all my friends were out.
Yes, we were out at the bar, not in a shirking our duties kind of way, but in a celebrating Christina, even though she wasn't there kind of way.
I mean, there was nothing else to do. Like, you can't have 10 people try to like wait for a cat.
And we knew that you would catch her. We knew that it would happen.
Well, because I was like, if I don't get this bitch tonight, I might never see her again.
Oh.
But as soon as we had eyes on her, I was like, she is coming home with me.
Yeah.
And so then we get back, we tell everyone, we're laughing. We're like, this is the most insane thing that's ever happened. And then we go meet people out and tell the story. And then Ian, who had been our post earlier, he was like, I felt bad because like I saw her, but then she ran. Because we had just told the story about how we ran after her. And he was like, I thought like maybe they'd be mad at me that like I didn't go after her, but I'm in sandals and white pants. Like he was not ready to be like on cat duty. He was ready to go to this nice event. Mm-hmm. And we were like, honestly, we weren't mad, maybe a little salty, a little bit. But then when we saw her running, we knew that like that was fucking crazy. Like she was truly going so fast.
And it would have been really hard for him to do it by himself. Like you guys even ended up needing a third person.
Yeah. She needed to be cornered.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful that he was able to be there so that Isaiah could see me read. It really was a team effort. I'm grateful for everyone who came. I'm grateful for everyone who helped look for the cat. And I was just like, it's nice to know everyone cares. I can't believe that this happened, but so many people were helping me, like my whole neighborhood. My parents kept being like, you live in such a nice neighborhood. Don't leave. I'm like, okay, everyone's nice here, but I would like a yard and also not this terrible backdoor situation. Some land. And yeah, everyone was really nice. I had a great time at the bar with the cat home safe. The next day, I was so tired. I was not even like hungover from alcohol, I don't think. I was like hungover from the day before. I was just like, today I need to lay in the dark. And Joanna and me and Alexis got breakfast. And then I was on my couch in the dark all day. I Instacarted stuff from Petco to give her a bath. Because I was so tired. She honestly was fine in the bath. Like she kept trying to escape the tub.
I bet she wanted to get clean.
Yeah, she seemed to enjoy the actual like being bathed part, but she couldn't get a grip in the bathtub. So I ended up having to like put water on her in the tub and then like put her on the bath mat because she just needed to grip onto something. And she let me cut her nails and stuff.
Yeah.
So now she's very clean and groomed. Of course, she threw up a lot of grass, which was really fun. And then I woke up, or before I went to bed last night, I felt this like crazy itch on my chest and my neck. And I was like, oh my God. And I looked out and I had like all these like splotchy rashes. And then I realized that's like where she had climbed up on me when I brought her inside that night. And like that night I didn't shower, but I showered in the morning. So then I showered again last night and like coated myself in Benadryl cream. And now it's less red, but it doesn't feel great. So I don't know what the hell this bitch gave me. Cat scratch fever, poison ivy, or just like some irritation. And when I DoorDashed with Petco stuff or Instacarted Petco stuff, Isaiah was like, I was like, that's so stupid. I shouldn't do it. I should just go. But it's raining and I really don't want to go. And he was like, no, you deserve peace. And I was like, so true. I do deserve peace. Hours later, I have this insane rash on my chest. I'm like, okay. And of course, like I couldn't really sleep last night. But yeah, I was like, it's really good that all these people came to my reading. So many people came. And I feel like I try really hard to be a good friend to people. And everyone was a really good friend back to me yesterday. So I was like, or 2 days ago, whatever, 3 days ago at the time of the listeners listening to the story. That was really nice. I have a bunch of flowers next to me that I have to hide from the cat because she will eat them. I would have wanted her to not have done that. I'm not going to say that I'm happy that it went that way, but it did add some drama to the night, and it would be a really funny short film.
Right. I was going to say, we would have not wanted it to happen, but since it did, Zach Kahn, anyone else in the industry listening, if you think that this has legs, let us know. I'm seeing like either dramatization or like there was a certain point where I was like, this could be like a mockumentary.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really could.
There's a lot of like settings, people to interview.
It's centered around an event.
Yeah.
I told so many people. So many people.
So many people knew.
That's the story. And that's the episode. Because I couldn't regularly scheduled programming because again, next week, thank you for listening to this And if you went to the Zoom reading, I'm really sorry that the audio was bad and everyone did their best to fix it. Yeah. Any final words, Joanna?
I'm just glad to be here. Great job.
I should have known that,
you.
what?
I was just saying I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I should have known that the puppy not letting me pet it was a bad omen.
There was really no way to interpret getting reversed as a good omen. Right.
That was bad.
Although I didn't feel like a dread. I felt more like weird things are happening today. So that's why I feel like I knew in my heart of hearts that like everything would be resolved, just not in the way you think.
The other thing that just reminded me of that I forgot to tell you, my mom, of course, was texting everyone, telling them what was happening while it was happening. And then my aunt, meanwhile, her friend's dog got out.
Oh my God.
And they were like searching for the dog in California. So things were happening with the animals. Yeah. And the car reversing thing was very funny. I didn't get to talk to Joanna or Alexis until after my reading at all. And Joanna, I'm giving my introduction. Joanna's so embarrassed about this, but I thought it was really funny. I just didn't I didn't know. I'm like, today was I was like not a little tipsy, but I was looser, after my beer, and I go up and I'm just like talking. Like I had a whole intro. I did half of the intro, but I was just like, honestly, you guys, today was fucking crazy because my cat got out and I thought it would be a good day. And then Joanna yells, someone reversed at me on the highway. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. I don't even remember what I said, but I remember being like, that's really funny. And yeah.
Guy, I don't know what compelled me.
Huh?
I don't know what spirit compelled me to.
Because it was me and you were just telling me what happened.
I know.
I didn't think it was weird at all. I was like, that's literally crazy. I need to hear about it later. But then Joanna later was like, I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, I was embarrassed.
Don't be embarrassed. It's not as embarrassing as when I was giving a speech 10 years ago in class and I messed up and just yelled fuck.
That was awesome.
Embarrassing. And then I was like, that's so embarrassing.
Right. That was like 5 seconds in.
Yeah, I just said one word wrong. I stumbled on one word and I go, fuck. So stupid, so obnoxious of me. Whatever. Also, I used to be so bad and so terrified of public speaking. And now I feel better about it. I think teaching has helped me with that a lot.
Growth.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. If anything strange happened to you on Friday, let us know or if you know about, let me see what the moon was doing on
That's
Friday.
what I was going to say. If you know why, and I'm talking if you know why, let us know.
Okay. It was a waxing crescent. But I don't know what it meant.
I'm going to look at my co-star for the day.
Oh, interesting. Okay, this is from Vogue. This is just the first one that comes up. Today may just be the day to talk to yourself. To talk yourself out of your fears, Leo. Taking on more than you can handle hasn't really worked out in the past for you, and this is just one of those times all over again. Things you may have begun a few months ago are reaching a conclusion. Well, yeah, I was doing my reading.
Mine says in my co-star, I'm feeling troubled, feeling out of sorts, similar to Christina today, and stress, similar to Christina today. I also had wavering faith, but you didn't have that. And I don't feel like I did.
Well, maybe you were. I was not even thinking like it's someone's fault until later when I was sitting on the porch. Isaiah was like, I think it was me. And I was like, why? And he was like, I mean, I never saw her go out, but I was using the door the most. And I was like, it doesn't matter. And he was like, I know, but I've just been thinking maybe it was me.
This needs to be a movie. A porch confession in the third act.
Yeah. And it's so that's why you wanted to stay behind and look for her.
Wow.
So funny. I was like, it doesn't matter at all. It's real. I didn't even think about it. It's fine. And he was like, I know, it doesn't matter. I was like, it could have been me. It could have been anybody. Mostly it's her fault. But that's the story of the culmination of my 3-year Masters of Fine Arts in Creative Writing is that the cat got out. And then I had to find her. And then I did my reading. And then we found her and it was fun.
What a night.
Very earned celebration. I really worked for that.
Mm-hmm.
I really worked for that. And our friend is going to be playing in the Canadian Football League. So big day.
Lots to celebrate.
Much to celebrate. That's all we have for you.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, this was a story time episode, and it was a good story. If you decide to produce this, we want story credits, and we would like to be not executive. We would like to be producers in some way or another. So thank you. That's all.